I'm independent. You big dummy.
Hey, are you independent? Do you not need no man? That's fine. You can always call 1-800 Call a Bear. Call a bear. Hook up with your bear today. Warning, this content creator will not be held responsible if you get eaten alive by that bear. Wait, crayons? Don't talk about crayons. Crayons? Crayons?
Lowered expectations. I'm done with life. I'm done. I'm done. I'm done. I'm done. I'm done with life, and it's all Jermaine's fault. It's always Jermaine's fault. I'm done. I'm done.
What's good, everybody? AB Media 83 here, and welcome to Colosseum Daily. Hope everybody's doing all right tonight. We have a nice little show for you tonight. We're going to be talking about the 92%. And for those of you who don't know what I'm talking about, when I say the 92%, I am referring to the 92% of black women, as they call themselves, who voted for Kamala Harris. They call them, and that's what they call themselves. They call themselves the 92%. Well, my name for them, how can I say it? The independent queen of hell is more like it, but you know, they call themselves the 92%. But that's what we're going to be talking about today. So, to give you an idea of what I'm talking about, how can I say this? A bunch of the 92% are online trying to boss people around out in the back. You should have voted for Kamala. Even have the unmitigated gall to tell Palestinians that you should have voted for Kamala and your people may still be alive. Yeah, it's that bad. So, quite frankly, I have a message for the 92%. And that message is very simple. How can I say this? Go back up here. All right. Read the room. We don't owe you shit. Nobody's falling in line for you. You're not the most educated. Yeah, I said it. Let me read that line again. Let me read that one more time. You're not the most educated. Get over it. Your candidate was not qualified or fit to be president. And that goes for both of them. You sold us a dementia patient with stage 4 cancer and an AKA who slept her way to the top. That's not a qualified candidate to be president. Your candidate could not even handle a softball interview with a woman. The party that you're trying to defend, that you stand for, it stands for nothing, and the Democrat Party is falling apart as we speak. But yet and still, we have the 92% out here talking crazy to people, talking about, y'all can't vote for Kamala Harris. Yeah. Why? Why should we have voted for Kamala Harris? What did Kamala Harris do during her tenure as a prosecutor and in the Senate? Oh, did I forget to mention the fact that Kamala Harris locked up black people, took pride in locking up black women for truancy? But yet you knuckleheads voted for Kamala Harris at a 92% clip. But you want to go around and call yourselves the most educated. And shout out to Craig, the tech guys. Snowman is so diggy in the building. But somehow y'all want to go around and call yourselves the 92%. And you voted for a woman who took pride in locking y'all up. But you know, y'all call yourselves the 92%. Oh, not to mention the fact you're
binary candidate or officer, the non-binary individual.
You're asking people to vote for a Democrat Party that sounds like this.
Rules specify that when we have a gender non-binary candidate or officer, the non-binary individual is counted as neither male nor female, and the remaining 6 offices must be gender balanced. In order to be gender balanced, we must elect 1 male, 1 female, and 1 person of any. Troy Black.
Yeah, that's what you're shaming people to vote for, really?
Blackwell. I'm a proud Afro-Latino from the South Bronx, New York. Today I stand before you as one of the first non-binary candidates to run in the DNC's 177-year history.
This is what black women are trying to yell at people for not voting for. I'm sorry. This is what black women are yelling at people for not voting for. That's what I said it right. Okay.
I'm asking you to take a chance on someone like me.
The final tally of votes, Troy Blackwell, 0.
I'm going to kick off our questioning tonight. And I will just have you know, we are going to ask the questions from this stage. There will be a moment where we will take questions from the audience, but I would ask.
Okay. While I have the linebacker with lipstick on the screen, Democrat Party, if you're listening, I'm going to say this to you one time. If you ever want heterosexual black men to come back to your party, do not have this woman speak for you. If you ever want young black men to come back to this party, do not let that heifer on the stage to speak for you. I said what I said. Now let's continue.
Thank you so much. We appreciate your enthusiasm. We are going to ask the questions from this stage. We'll ask that you please take a seat.
This is the question we're going to ask.
All right, we're going to ask that question. We understand. We understand that there are many issues that people are very.
We'll begin with the opening statements. Each candidate will have 30 seconds.
It is my desire to be the.
Oh, gosh, I had forgotten. Oh, damn it. I had forgotten. This next few seconds is what black women want people to vote for.
Next DNC chair, and I just want to give you all a little bit of something that's been on my heart here over the last couple of days. You fight on, you fight on, you fight on, you fight on. When your government is doing you wrong, you fight on, oh, you fight on.
That was a real DNC candidate. And we have black women online trying to vote for these people. That was a real DNC candidate. She didn't win, but that was a real candidate. As I said before, we don't owe you shit. You can't sell bullshit to us and expect us to vote for people. Oh, gosh. Okay, let's get back to it. All right.
Wow. Hello, Democrats. Hey, I am speaking. Hey, I am speaking. And I would love your attention. There is a black woman at this podium, and I...
Once again, this is what almost won at the DNC. But black women want everybody to fall in line and vote for the Democrats. All right. Let's end this video out.
I deserve your attention. There is a black woman at this podium, and I deserve your attention. There is a black woman at this podium, and I deserve your attention, like the 11 people who went before me. Yes, I am speaking.
Good evening, Democrats. Look up here. 3 strong black women standing before you. 3 black women who, rather than just grabbing a chair, ran for chair.
And you all lost. But yet the 92% wants us to blindly go vote for the Democrats again. As I stated before, read the room. We don't owe you shit. And if this is the best you could do, you don't deserve to be in leadership. We have real world problems that have to be solved, daggone it. And we don't have time for you knuckleheads who half of your heads is up your ass. You don't read nothing, and you could tell you don't read nothing, and quite frankly, you've ruined a generation of boys. But see, what you don't know is America ain't top dog no more. And it's probably not going to be nice over the next few years because America's not top dog anymore. So, daddy government, it is not going to have the funds to fund y'all's so-called lifestyle. And winter is here. Y'all can get right or you can get left. What's going on there?
And the vast majority gone left. But I'm chilling, man. How you been?
Oh, I'm doing all right.
By the way, Why did you have to show that mess with the linebacker with the lipstick? But then again, it could have been worse. Imagine if it was the bald head who got, the crying out bald head who got kicked out of whatchamacallit, MSNBC a while back.
Oh, well, yeah.
You fight on, you fight on. Shut up.
I was watching a football game. I was watching the University of Houston playing Stephen F. Austin.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And I hear "You Fight On" in my ears.
Narcissists
To which
collapse
I
into deep
playfully
grief
say
near
to
the end
you,
of their
AB Media 83, one of my best friends,
mm-hmm.
you ain't shit for that while I'm trying to watch football.
I had to take off the headset when I heard it.
I did too.
Yeah, it was pretty bad, wasn't it?
Look,
it was atrocious.
I had forgotten I had put that clip in there too. I was like, oh gosh.
Look,
but it goes to my point. But it goes to my point though.
Mm-hmm.
This is what they're arrogant about. This is, you don't believe me? I got a ton of them right here. This is how they sound.
Y'all mad at the Cracker Barrel logo, but y'all not mad about that nasty food they serving? See, this is what blows my mind. Folks online,
you have a mind? Oh dear God!
There ain't nothing wrong with that catfish, and
Not
there
a
ain't nothing
thing.
wrong with that mama. I love my mama pancake breakfast, so shut the hell up.
Listen, wife and I have been to many dates at Cracker Barrel, and we got no problem with it.
all worried about this Cracker Barrel logo change. The logo. Literally, out of everything that you could have talked about in relation to Cracker Barrel, y'all carrying on about the damn logo. Not that the food tastes like it's been seasoned with disappointment and dreams. The logo.
Wait a minute. Don't talk about Denny's like that.
Logo. Let's get real. If
Don't
you
talk
want to
about her
get mad
cooking
about
like
something
that.
with Cracker Barrel, get.
Now, you
Yeah,
talk
I
about
said
Denny's
it.
like that. Denny's food has gone downhill, but maybe except for the breakfast.
We ain't thank God we haven't been to Denny's since we moved back to Indiana.
Get mad at that bland ass menu. The only seasonings they know are some salt and pepper, maybe a little onion powder, and a sprinkle of garlic powder when they're feeling.
That's all you need for certain types of food. What are you talking about?
Experimental.
Look,
Then you
my
got
wife
Byron.
didn't even listen. My wife barely uses salt when she's cooking because we're trying to get on a better diet, and it still tastes better, probably, than some of the shit that you're cooking.
Donald's out here talking about he got saved in the Cracker Barrel parking lot. Sir, why are we having revival service in the Cracker Barrel parking lot?
Why do you care? So what he got saved in the Cracker Barrel parking lot?
Did you?
Good for him.
Exactly. Good for him.
What was the benediction? A plate of cold biscuits and gravy? I still don't care what logo they
What's wrong with biscuits and gravy?
Ain't nothing wrong with
put on
biscuits and
Cracker
gravy.
Barrel. They could put Mickey Mouse up there for all I care. The real
I may
issue
make
is
that
the
Saturday
food tastes
morning
like
for my wife.
punishment. It's like somebody said, how can we make Thanksgiving taste like detention? And boom, they created Cracker Barrel. For real, if I'm going to choose a breakfast spot, it's going to be Waffle House every day. Because at least Waffle
dear.
House is consistent.
Oh, wait.
What about I?
I'm so glad.
Bullshit. Who told this lie?
Oh, wait, no, man. I'm so glad she said that. Did she say Waffle House? Is she talking about? Hold on, wait a minute. Let me find it. This one? This Waffle House? Is that what you're talking about? I didn't make it, but damn it, I fell out my chair when I saw that shit.
Me too.
I checked out what's his face, Martin Lawrence's Facebook page. He did his own version of it, and it was basically he sampled. He took Eddie Murphy's image. It was called what's it called? Boom Boom Room from Life.
You talking about the Boom Boom Room? I saw that one. That was hilarious.
Yeah, I saw that one. That was hilarious as well. Then again, I seen the Wu-Tang one with Ohio commercial.
But yeah, that's my version of the Cracker Barrel logo. I might make some more like that because it's becoming a trend.
Yeah, it's a meme, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Cracker Barrel logo trending worldwide, as The Rock would say.
I'm calling out 3 demographics: Palestinian Americans, Latin and Hispanic community, and the Asian community.
Freeze it.
In the past 8
Freeze
years,
Hold on.
when
Let it
Donald
finish.
Trump's last administration and Joe Biden,
Okay.
the Black community has fought for each and every one of you. We marched back in the 60s, through the 70s.
Okay, go ahead.
What the bloody fuck is that?
One of the 92%, I guess.
Bullshit. I'll reserve judgment for now. Go on.
You think you just fell out of a coconut tree? Hello.
I want to talk to you. Over there. After
Yeah, that's who they wanted us to vote for.
Not I, says me. Nope. You can't make me do. Nope.
You cry crocodile tears of individualism and selective humanity and expect us to care. The 92% that I'm in, we showed up and we showed out on November.
Bullshit.
And you did what you wanted to do just for you. Your individualist mindset told you that voting for the current administration was best for you and your family. Well,
yeah, it was.
I voted for the couch.
Yeah.
They don't care. A vote for the couch is a vote. A vote for the couch is a vote for the other side, as far as they're concerned.
Pretty much.
We're lamping, and we are setting ourselves up for sanity over the next 4 years. We're not worried about your VA job being rescinded.
No, not.
The offer was sent. No.
I'm saying I made my choice. I'm fine.
I mean, we got a general election here, and I'm voting for the couch anyway because I'm just sick of shit.
Mm-hmm.
We're not worried about you getting online crying about you can't feed your family because you thought that the current
We can't feed our family because motherfuckers like you took all the goddamn benefits when we were struggling, you bitch.
You didn't care about Black people. You didn't care about the LGBTQ community. You didn't care about any.
Well, you speak as if the legitimate cares about Black people too. Oops, I said that out loud.
Say it again. Say it again.
You speak as if the legitimate cares about Black people either. You see what they're doing.
And the funny thing about it is there's racism among their ranks. Because remember, in New York, the ball scene, Latinos and Blacks had to separate themselves from the whites because they were experiencing racial bias. You think that's bad? Come check up here in Europe. You're going to see racism within the legitimate community. There are many non-whites of that community who found refuge, but they experienced racism.
What in the hell is this? Time out. Time the fuck out. Hold it. Stop. Hold. This says penalty flag on the field. No, give me this button here. This will ask my question.
What is that? What the fuck is that?
This is the 92% that I'm talking about. They're bold and out front.
The fact.
No comment.
That people just don't like Black people. Okay,
no, we just don't like you.
From the
what else is new? We always knew both sides didn't like us.
DEI rollbacks to
DEI didn't even benefit you, dummy.
You short weave head dummy. Sorry.
What was that? What was that? The great Red Fox said, "For every dummy,
there's a dummy." Dummy.
The mass deportations to
doesn't affect you.
Education, like
you big dummy.
The very thing that you
wait, I thought y'all were the most educated.
You all think that we benefit from. We're like low on the totem pole. Okay, when it comes to recipients of said laws or initiatives, like once you all can just.
I don't feel like pressing the button, so I'll just do it manually. I'm independent.
You notice the arrogant smile on her face, how she's being very mockish.
Yep.
Yeah, this is one of the reasons the Democrat Party's in shambles because people are looking at.
Yeah, she's blatantly has nothing but contempt for Black men.
You can tell.
Say,
you can tell.
And be honest with yourself. that Black Americans bother you, then we can actually start to do some healing and some work towards a more perfect union. But until then, like,
with y'all.
Black Americans are still resting. We're educating ourselves at Human Talk and TikTok University. We are launching our own businesses. We are putting together our own coalitions.
No,
We're
you're not.
strengthening ties in our own communities. Like,
no, you're not.
yes, we see the news.
Oh, hold on, wait a
No,
minute.
Sadly, they are.
No, you're not. Bullshit.
Yes, it bothers us.
Bullshit.
It makes us shake our head. But like, Black Americans, we're not new to it. We true to it. Okay.
No,
We've
you're
been
not.
oppressed. We've been without. And yet we still here. That's why y'all mad. Okay. So while you all are up
No, I'm
in
not
arms
mad.
every time a breaking
We don't
news
give a fuck
story
about
hits the
you.
news cycle, ask yourself,
We stopped
I
giving.
do
We stopped
something that
giving a fuck about
contributed
you.
to the world
All
that we
right?
call ourselves living in now? Did I do everything in my power to prevent us from this? And if you cannot
No
answer
comment.
unequivocally, yes, you're part of the problem. And from now on, I challenge you to be a part of the solution.
You ain't
If
part
you're
of the
not,
solution, you dumbass.
hush. But anyways,
For every dummy,
There's a
dummy.
dummy.
So I just saw this video of this Black man asking the 92%, when can he stop resting? Or what are we waiting on before
I'm
we
already
all
rested.
And
Fuck
it
that.
reminds me of like when your Black mom.
We ain't waiting, y'all. Y'all go on a rest. We're not waiting on y'all. We're not waiting on y'all.
Tells you
I got
don't
out
ask
of the
me for
community
anything
a
else,
long time
and
ago.
you know not to ask her for anything else, but you go to her and you ask her, when can you ask her for anything else? It's like she told you to leave.
We're not asking you a damn thing. We're trying to tell you. But anyway,
her alone, but you go to her and be like, well, can I ask you in 5 hours? If you want to act, if you want to go and protest, call your senators, if you want to get out in the streets, if you want to call your House of Representatives, if you want to go to town halls, if you want to do whatever you want to do, go do it. Go do it. Why are y'all asking Black women to tell you what to do?
We're not, you stupid motherfucker.
Why are you asking us for direction?
Yeah.
Not, you stupid son bitch.
Asking those questions shows that you don't understand why we're taking a back seat.
Because you've been in the back seat, you dumbass.
Do what you want to
How do you like that?
Stop looking to Black women to tell you when to act, where to go, what to do, because that's the part
you took the back
that
seat,
we're tired of doing. We're tired of the mental, emotional, and physical labor.
Let it go. Let it go, Snowman.
Yeah, let it go. Let it go,
Just
man.
breathe.
You're gonna talk her crap. Let it go.
Okay.
Let her run her mouth. Just understand. It's just.
I know.
The
I
people
know.
that need
It's
to
just.
start
It's
this
just a trigger
revolution
point for
know
me.
who they are.
Mhm.
And
Understandable.
it's not a Black woman and it's not a Black man.
I'm sorry. What was that last one?
I don't know how else to say it. We know what needs to be done. Why
No,
do
you
you need
don't.
Black women to lead the way? Why don't you just get out there and do it?
Whoa. Time.
Stop asking.
Time.
This
Time.
Oh boy.
Time. Can you repeat that part again? Play it up. I want to be sure I heard correctly because I'm in the process of editing my stuff for tomorrow and I'm hearing this. I want to be sure I heard that last line correctly.
Oh, you heard it all right.
Can you go back a couple seconds? I need to hear it again.
I don't know how else to say it. We know what needs to be done.
No, you don't.
Why do you need
Yeah,
Black
no, please.
women to lead the way?
Oh,
Why
fuck.
don't you just get out there and do it?
Paul.
Are you kidding
Asking
me?
us, and this goes for everybody.
Well, yeah. Well, that way. Well, we're doing what she. Think about it. We're doing what she asked. We're not waiting on her.
True. Very true. Very
We never have. They'll never have, actually.
Not a chance, man. Not
Yeah,
a chance in hell. Not a chance in hell. Yeah, I said it. Hell. What in all kinds of blue hell are you?
Oh, by the way, to any black woman,
I'm sorry.
Hold
I'm
on,
sorry.
Snowman.
Sorry.
To any black women that are watching, I just updated my my description tag. There are 2 books I want you to pick up. One of them is The American Slave Coast. The other one is The Daughters of the Trade.
Daughters of the Trade.
Books.
The Daughters of the Trade or the Doors of the Trade?
Daughters of the Trade.
The Daughters.
Daughters of the Trade. Okay.
Go pick up them books and read them before you come up here and try to give me any history on what the Democrats are and what they stand for. But let's get back to this.
That's not the 92%. Stop making videos asking black women to lead the charge because
we're not. It's yeah, sweetie. We're not baby. We're not asking you to lead the charge.
Shut up,
baby. We're not asking you to lead the charge. No, baby. No, baby.
You're missing the point.
Full disclosure, just in case any real relatives are watching, I got that from an older woman that I used to know back in that day. She's passed since then.
Rest her soul.
I think she was from Louisiana. She got to be because that accent. Is this the way she said it, baby?
That's a big time Southern accent. Yes.
You're missing the point. If you want to go out and do whatever it is that you want to do, go do it. Stop asking us for permission.
Oh, don't worry.
Baby. They've already been doing that.
Don't worry. We won't ask you for permission.
We got another traitor on our hands. Y'all gonna know what to do.
Democrats last night really confirmed where we.
Yep. They're so deranged. They're even attacking other black women.
What is that? What the fuck is that?
We are as a nation, where your party is now built on hating, and
from the
pretty much
look of it, you would assume, oh, she's part of the 92%. No, she's not. She's not part of the 92%, and so
good for her.
My action was to block because I don't.
Because you're afraid of debate? You're afraid you might lose in the debate?
Need that negativity and that kind of behavior, that hate for self on my
baby.
Something's been said to me because I wouldn't vote for Kamala Harris. Been called a bullet bag. I've had a couple of males threaten to kick my ass. I had a male tell me that my family should kick my ass. What else is there?
I've
been told I should be put on a T-shirt. When you get put on a T-shirt, I'm not going to march with your mama for you.
I think I was there for that one when you got that threat.
I showed it on screen. Yeah, I think I did show that on screen. But yeah. Y'all need to look in the mirror.
Page. I don't want to see it on my For You or anything like that. The 92%ers, we are demure.
Whoa.
They're demure, whatever that means.
They are demure. What?
Whatever that means.
Wait a minute. There's a keep playing, please.
Period. And we love our skin. We love who we are. We embrace it. And we care about everybody and not just a select few. And we're not delusional. We don't support orange people. We don't. And if you decide you're going to be a supporter of the orange people, go right ahead. Nobody's stopping you. But you will not be on my For You page. Period. We got another traitor on our hands. Y'all gonna know what to do.
I was right. I was right. Everything I say is right.
No.
You
was
fool!
wrong. You was wrong. You was wrong. Everything you said was wrong.
You fool! I was right. I was right. Everything I say is right.
Wrong.
You fool!
No, you were wrong. You were wrong. Everything you said is wrong.
Wrong.
As you can tell, I've been musically trained, so I can play with notes like that.
Understood.
You all voted for that orange scammer. Now the U.S. is through.
This wasn't even Bob actually saying. She just used auto tunes.
We're through, the U.S. is through. When we could have had Kamala too.
No.
No.
And just
The 92% told you.
Then tell us shit.
Voted for that orange scammer. Now the U.S. is through.
Who do you think you're talking to? Who do you think you are talking to? Van Lathan? I hope I pronounced your name right. I know you're not talking to former Vice President Kamala Harris. I know you're not trying to correct her when she said in a speech, "I told you so."
She didn't tell us a goddamn
you're trying
thing.
to tell former Vice President or any person of that
Florida wanted to be the American dream, but right now they're looking like a foreclosure notice. So
so y'all think it's a bright idea to talk shit about the states that didn't vote for Kamala, huh? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
That's really gonna make them come out and vote for you now, isn't it?
month in Florida, 15%. Oh yeah, that's right. 15% of home purchases fell through. That is the highest July cancellation rate on record. And out of the top 5 cities that deals got canceled the most, 3 of them were in Florida. The only city doing worse is San Antonio, Texas at number 1. And remember a couple of years ago, everybody and their mama was running to Florida and Texas. They were talking about it's freedom, it's land, low taxes.
And nobody's moving back to those coastal states which they were moving from because it's too expensive to live there. So your point is mute.
Sunshine.
And I tell her, cite your sources.
Well, now buyers are backing out now like they just realized that most of these homes come with a lifetime supply of hurricane, insurance premium, and Ron DeSantis speeches. Now let's zoom out for a second.
Let's zoom out for a second. New York and California are losing people by the droves because it's too damn expensive to live there.
Mm-hmm.
So whether they move from Florida or not, I can guarantee you they're not moving back to them coastal cities.
Oh no.
When a house sale falls through, it's not just about the house. That's a loss of tax revenue for the community, which means less money for your schools, your roads, and your...
And by the way, for the record, I am no fan of Ron DeSantis.
Libraries. And when the bottom falls out in housing, it doesn't stop there. It spills over into technology, tourism, small business, everything. This is why I've been telling you guys elections matter and leadership matters. Because when you act like government doesn't matter, when you think policy is just background noise, the bottom won't just fall out of the real estate market. It's going to fall out of your...
Wow, you said that as if the Democrats were anything to vote for. She actually said that as if Democrats were something we could sit down and vote for.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway.
You big dummy.
Y'all remember Bobby Boucher's mama from The Water Boy? Everything that woman didn't like was the devil. And in a nutshell, that's MAGA. I'm serious. Bobby couldn't even drink water without his mama saying it.
That's the devil.
It was the devil. That's MAGA all day. Taylor Swift, the devil. Tomato sauce, the devil. Grass-fed cows, the devil. Anything they don't like gets an automatic devil stamp.
Class. This is what you call projection 101.
Projection should have go wrong. Yeah.
What she's trying to translate to you is anything MAGA does is wrong to her.
Then I got
well let me rephrase that into her terminology. Anything MAGA does is the devil.
Then I got 2 words for her.
You tripping.
Oh, no. Wait. I got a song for her. It goes like this.
Use a troll. Troll. Use a troll. Troll. Use a troll. I said that use a troll.
Troll.
$100 ain't no money no more. It's just vibes and groceries. Let's just go ahead and
You
make it official.
fool!
The $100 is the new 20. You remember when you could take a
Yeah, but here's what she's not telling you. That was true under Biden, and actually the prices are going down. Oops.
$100 to like Walmart and actually buy stuff. Now $100 barely gets you a handful of sadness, maybe 2 bags of chips, and maybe a pack of chicken if it's on sale. And don't let it be gas week, baby. That tank
I can still buy a decent meal for under $50, but you know.
is going to eat $60 or $70 of it before you even turn on the ignition. The worst part is all of this is permanent. Prices are not going to go back. That's $7.99 bacon, even when inflation cools, if it ever cools.
How do you know? You don't.
It ain't gonna never go back to like $2, $3. That's not happening. That dream is gone, like common sense in Congress.
How do you know that?
Wait a minute. Common sense. Don't talk about common sense in the Democrat Party like that.
Why is she talking about common sense? She's taking a look in a goddamn mirror.
For me, this is not just about groceries and gas. This is about how capitalism will stretch your pockets thinner.
That it will.
Every damn year. While telling you just need to budget better. Budget what? Air and audacity? And see, here's the kicker. If $100 is the new 20 now, shit, then the $500 is going to be the new $100 because the system is always designed to take more and give you less. Some of y'all wanted capitalism, but this is capitalism uncut, unfiltered, unapologetic. The next time you swipe your card and you're wondering, how did I just spend $200 and I'm still hungry? Just remember, you're not broke. The system is broken, y'all. Now go ahead. So y'all voted red and now you're broke, mad, and confused. So let's talk about it. The young people who voted for Trump and the Republican movement, they are already regretting their vote. And
said no one ever. You just made that shit up.
I'm not even going to pretend to be surprised because I knew it would happen. And y'all gotta understand it's because this is always the play. See, a lot of young people didn't have the tools to really critically think about the impact.
And yeah, it's gonna go and get into the videos. This is one of the things that the this is one of the things that consultant. Y'all need to stop telling people dumb shit like this.
Acts of what
basically what she's saying is young people were not quote unquote educated enough. Enough on the issues.
I'll do this one live.
What Trump's policies would have on their lives. And you know why? Because the American
what impact did Joe Biden's policy have on their lives? Let's see. He literally stole Russia's money out of their bank account and made the whole world stop buying our bonds, which skyrocketed our grocery prices. But you're talking about Trump harming our kids' future? Okay.
Education system was never built for you to think critically. It was built to keep you.
Evidently, you don't think critically either. By the way, let's see. Let me look at it. I have 14 watching. Like, share, subscribe. Hit the Cash App. Support the show. Hit the Super Chat. Support the show. Support your interests. All right. Let's continue.
Just smart enough to pass a test, but not smart enough to question power. So when the propaganda machine started pumping, most of y'all didn't even know how to check that stuff to know what was factual and what was a lie. You didn't even know how to look past the shiny slogans, the memes, the TikToks. And
wait a minute, don't talk about the Democrat shields like that. Don't do that.
Actually ask real questions like, how does this policy impact me, my rent, my student loan, my future? And now here you are, under this Trump-led regime, finding out the hard way that Republicans do not have your back. That same party that you thought was about freedom is deciding the books you can read now, what rights you have, and whether you can even afford to survive. And look, I get it. When you're young, it feels like political policies and government and all that stuff, it feels like it's just background noise. You think it's something for old people to just argue about, but you see, it is not just noise. It's your life, boo. And if you don't take this seriously, the folks who do take this seriously, you know that older generation that's been controlling everything forever, they gonna keep stacking the deck.
Okay. Y'all not taking it seriously either. You cannot y'all back Kamala Harris and a dementia patient with stage 4 cancer. You cannot look in young people's oh my gosh, really?
What? You. So now my question.
Hold on, I'll replay it for you again.
I think it's something for old people to just argue about, but you see, it is not just noise. It's what rights you have and whether you can even afford to survive. And look, I get it. When you're young, it feels like political policies and government and all that stuff, it feels like it's just background noise. You think it's something for old people to just argue about, but you see, it is not just noise. It's your life, boo. And if you don't take this seriously, the folks who do take this seriously, you know that older generation.
It ain't older black baby boomers, I can tell you that, with the exception of BGS. But it ain't older folk like you. That's for damn sure.
That's been controlling Gen Xer forever. They gonna keep stacking the deck against you. So now my question is, now that you are living under the policies that you voted for, are you ready to wake up yet? Are you ready to stop treating government like a joke? And
I mean, hold on a second. When she's talking about boomers and everything, she's doing flat boomer shit. She's saying all you boomers and whatnot, flat boomer. Most boomers do not have the wealth like a lot of people think. All right.
Treating it like survival, because until young people wake up, old people are going to keep cashing checks on your future.
Yeah, don't talk about yourself like that. But that's enough of that. Let me go to my playlist because I got a playlist.
Okay.
Let's see, playlist, and this is under AB Daily. Now, the gist of the argument that I know some of the 92% is going to use against me is that, the Democrat Party is not racist. They switched back during the 1960s. Did they switch? Let's take a look. Come on, YouTube. All right.
History. The party switch, the most controversial theories in American political history. The party switch. One of the great and often repeated myths in American politics is the great switch of the two primary political parties. One question often arises: How did the party of Abraham Lincoln become the party of the Southern conservative base? How did Democrats go from the party of segregation and lynching to the party of civil rights? Was there, in fact, a complete ideological switch? Let's clarify this situation. Was there really a full ideological switch between Democrats and Republicans? Today, we're going to break down the facts and the fiction behind this idea. What is the party switch theory? What is the historical reality? When did this supposedly occur? Was it ever true?
Hello, I'm Colin Heaton, former history professor, Army and Marine Corps veteran, and welcome to this episode of Forgotten History.
Like civil rights, race, and the role of government. In this version of history, the Republican Party supposedly embraced the policies and the voters of the old Southern Democrats, while Democrats claimed to have transformed into champions of civil rights and minority causes. The Democrat Party, as we know it, was shaped by Andrew Jackson, a populist but also a slaveholder. The Republican Party, founded in the 1850s, was the party of Abraham Lincoln and born in opposition to the expansion of slavery, but not.
Oh, by the way, while we're on the topic of Andrew Jackson, because I know a lot of these sisters would come out and say that, you know, look at what Trump's doing to the legals. Yeah. Okay, let's talk about Andrew Jackson, the slave owner who started the Democrat Party. Are you going to compare what Trump is doing to the legal compared to what Andrew Jackson did during the Trail of Tears? Don't answer that question because half of y'all ain't read the history. Let's continue.
Not the abolishment of slavery. Please see our videos on Jackson and Lincoln. After the Civil War, Republicans pushed Reconstruction policies to protect the rights of freed Black people. Meanwhile, Southern Democrats created and enforced Jim Crow laws, maintaining segregation and opposing civil rights for African Americans well into the 20th century.
There he is.
Even Democrat President Woodrow Wilson was a staunch racist who wanted complete government control and created the Internal Revenue Service with the 16th Amendment in 1913 and the Federal Reserve to take more money from Americans. By the 1930s, under Franklin D. Roosevelt, the Democratic Party began courting working-class voters, including Northern Black communities, with programs like the New Deal. But FDR did little to nothing to improve race relations in the South and refused to support anti-lynching legislation or desegregation of the military. He confiscated gold supplies from Americans, and he had the opportunity to desegregate the military and allow the immigration of Jews under persecution from Germany and Austria, and he refused. See our videos on FDR. The Democrats also supported labor unions, which the Republicans in general saw as a communist attempt to control effective business practices. The Northern Democrats tended to be supportive of civil rights for Blacks to gain their support away from the Republican Party, which was business-friendly and pushing for limited government involvement, but this divided the Democrats. Southern Democrats remained fiercely segregationist, while Northern Democrats grew more supportive of civil rights, causing growing tension within the party. The 1950s and 60s pressure mounted. Northern Democrats supported civil rights legislation to secure Black votes, while Southern Democrats resisted fiercely, trying to block Blacks from voting. Senators like Strom Thurmond and Robert Byrd, the latter a former KKK member.
All mentored. Who was that? The Strom Thurmond and Robert Byrd mentored. Who was that guy? Who was that guy that they mentored? I can't.
Ooh, I know. Can I answer?
Go ahead.
His name is Joseph Biden, the old dementia patient.
All right, the last Democrat president that the 92 was trying to shove down everybody's throat until everybody realized he was a dementia patient, and they had to make him step down.
And see our video on him. We're both Democrats who led the charge against civil rights from within the Democratic Party. The other major opponent to civil and voting rights for blacks in the South was Texas Senator Lyndon Baines Johnson, the future president, who, along with Democratic Senator Robert C. Byrd of West Virginia, fought tooth and nail to keep blacks from receiving legal recourse under the Constitution. Senator Byrd himself had, in the early 1940s, recruited about 150 of his friends and relatives and other associates to create a new chapter of the Ku Klux Klan in Sophia, West Virginia. He later changed his political position on civil rights as well, but remained a Democrat. Despite his long history of being previously opposed to the various civil rights bills, LBJ signed the Civil Rights Act of 1964 and the Voting Rights Act of 1965, largely due to political pressure and the rise of figures like Republican Barry Goldwater, who opposed federal overreach and supported racial equality. This alienated many white Southern Democrats, also known as Dixiecrats, who had historically opposed integration and supported segregation. This was when the Republican Party began to appeal to Southern Democrats who wanted limited government in their lives, greater states' rights, and the social conservative platform of Republicans began to appeal to many Southerners who were drifting away from the racial mindset. Goldwater's posture and perceived hardline stance against communism was in alignment with conservatives, but it was also used against him, a position which LBJ initially claimed publicly to be opposed to, despite his later creating the Gulf of Tonkin incident as a ruse to get legislation passed to send American combat troops to South Vietnam. Due to the creation of welfare and other entitlements by the Johnson administration in order to buy the black vote through generational patronage, Democrats had a durable base among minorities, urban voters, and socially liberal intellectuals. Also, Southern Democrats were anti-legal immigration into their states, while the Northern Democrats promoted legal immigration. Also, Southern Protestants were typically more religious and church-going, while the Northern, East, and West Coast Democrats began to walk away from organized religion and adopted pro-Marxist platforms, which were deemed by Southern conservatives as anti-American. This all triggered a backlash, and Johnson famously said, "We have lost the South for a generation, but we have the black vote for the next 200 years." This was the moment when many
Well, the 92% keeps on proving them right, too, unfortunately.
Southern white voters, alienated by civil rights policies and federal welfare expansion, began to shift toward the Republican Party, not because the GOP embraced racism, but because it promoted limited government, states' rights, and traditional family values. Another factor aiding in the shift was the Vietnam War, which also divided the country along political lines, and LBJ took the great.
Now, let's just take this for the record. Are some Republicans racist? Yes. No one's saying Republicans aren't racist. I might even suggesting that you should just outright go and vote for a Republican. Now that we got that out of the way.
Biggest criticism from his own party as a result. Democrats were heavily divided on Vietnam as well. The majority of politically liberal Democrats opposed their own Democrat President Johnson regarding U.S. involvement, while more conservative Democrats and Republicans either took a neutral or pro-American involvement in fighting communism. In 1968, Richard M. Nixon ran on the presidential GOP ticket and disaffected Southern whites using code words like law and order, states' rights, and opposition to forced busing, while still maintaining the GOP support for black rights, which still divided Democrats. This opened the door for Republicans, notably Richard Nixon and later Ronald Reagan, who used what has become known as the Southern strategy to gain support in the South by appealing to concerns about federal overreach against states' rights and cultural change.
Also, keep in mind during the time that a lot of inflation was going on around the time that Ronald Reagan was elected. So that was the other reason the South wanted to flip.
Richard Nixon's Southern strategy emphasized law and order and opposition to federal busing policies, which was a big deal to Democrats, appeals that resonated with voters frustrated by cultural and political upheaval. Nixon had campaigned on getting out of Vietnam, which satisfied many of both parties' voters and also added Southern whites to Republican roles. Nixon also ended.
And by the way, let's just get this out of the way too. No, I am not saying Ronald Reagan liked black people. He most certainly did not.
The Democrat-created Tuskegee syphilis experiment program created by Democrats, among other legislation. And see our video on Nixon. Ronald Reagan later unified these groups into a larger conservative coalition, business leaders, evangelicals, and working-class whites under the banner of small government and anti-socialist policies. Democrats became the party of urban centers, progressives, minorities, and coastal elites. They eventually abandoned the Ku Klux Klan, which they had created after the Civil War and supported for a century because the hate group had become too toxic. Republicans attracted religious conservatives, rural voters, small business owners, and working-class traditionalists, especially in the South and Midwest, as progressive Democrats, especially in the North, turned away from supporting religion, which conservatives found appalling. Yes, it is true that some Democrat figures switched parties, like Strom Thurmond of South Carolina, but the idea that the GOP adopted the racist legacy of the Democratic South is misleading and patently false. The Ku Klux Klan, for instance, was never embraced by the GOP. In fact, the Reagan administration helped dismantle it legally and financially, effectively destroying it. Over the years, Democrats embraced more progressive positions on gun control, gender identity, immigration, and race. They allied with activist groups like Black Lives Matter, Antifa, and others whose critics argued furthered social and political division and supported wanton violence. Meanwhile, many centrist and conservative Democrats, especially in the South, left the party altogether, becoming Republicans or independents. This wasn't a swap, it was an evolution. In essence, the Democrats who have revised their history to remove the stains of slavery, Jim Crow, and violence against blacks have lost control. Democrats love to identify Republicans as being the party of racist and anti-middle class workers. They claim that Republicans adopted all the evils of the old Democrats while never acknowledging the fact that the Democrats were the progenitors of the evil they now claim to oppose.
Pretty much.
So let's set the record straight. The Republican Party did not become the party of racism. The Democratic Party didn't suddenly erase its legacy of slavery, segregation, opposition to civil rights, lynching, and violence. The great lie that was created and still pushed by Democrats is that the Great Switch included the Republicans adopting a racist and domestic terror policy and embracing groups such as the Ku Klux Klan, which never happened. In fact, it was under Reagan that the Klan was finally destroyed. However, ultra-right nationalist groups that arose have traditionally been Republican in their voting habits since the late 1970s, while ultra-left domestic terror groups remained entrenched within the Democrat Party, replacing the far-right Democrats created and supported KKK. In fact, the modern Democrats today still support active violence. But did the parties really switch? Well, not exactly. There was no official swap of platforms or party names. Instead, there was a gradual realignment of coalitions. The Republican base grew in the South and included all these previous groups because they were socially conservative working class Americans. And recently, many Democrats who abandoned their party and registered as Republicans or independents actually voted for Donald Trump. The Reagan Revolution in the 1980s brought together business interests and everyone else who felt disenfranchised by Democrat politics, and they united under the GOP brand using an anti-liberal, anti-socialist states' rights message and limited government platform.
So wait a minute. Since they said the party switched, who was it going around burning Teslas again? That was the Republicans, right, Namer? That was the Republicans, right?
No.
Right. That was the Republicans going around burning all them Teslas, right?
All them Teslas, all them Tesla trucks and cars. Oh, right.
But the party switched, right?
The shift was
hell to the nah.
Ideologies and regional priorities.
And by the way, this is not me saying there's not racism in the Republican Party, and this is not me saying there's not racism in the MAGA movement. There is, but the Democrat Party needs to look in the mirror before they talk about the racism on that side. That's what I'm saying.
Priorities, not a clean switch. The Democrat platform wanted to abolish the Second Amendment. That was a large part of the political shift in politics. Over time, Democrats became more aligned with the urban minority and progressive voter in major cities on the East and West Coast and in large northern and even some southern cities, while the Republicans have attracted and contained and retained rural, religious, and conservative voters, particularly in the South and Midwest. More recent Democrat-supported criminal entities such as Black Lives Matter and Antifa, and see our video on BLM, and even their left-wing socialist predecessors like the Weather Underground terrorists, and also see our video on them, remained loyal to and were supported by the Democrats and still are to this day. These actions drove conservative Democrats even further away from the party and further divided Democrats and forced others to change affiliation. The argument had been that the parties literally swapped names and positions, but the parties evolved gradually and their ideological coalition shifted and Democrat methods remained pretty much the same. Today's political map reflects decades of migration, economic change, and cultural realignment, not a simple party flip. African-American voters who largely supported the GOP after the Civil War began overwhelmingly voting Democrat after the 1960s due to the laws passed by LBJ and the Black support regarding both parties still favor the Democrats, but in far less numbers today. It's not about who changed names. It's about who showed up and what they stood for. People generally vote with their pocketbooks, and Democrat policies have always increased taxes, reduced employment opportunities, increased interest and mortgage rates, increased nonsensical spending at home and abroad, as well as increased the general cost of living. But perhaps the greatest driving force sending former Democrats to the middle or right were the Biden administration's policies on taxpayers funding millions of illegal immigrants, importing and increasing violent crime, and the liberal Democrat supporting and George Soros-funded mainstream media being caught in thousands of lies, supporting Democratic criminal activities, and creating conspiracies against conservatives. And see our video on George Soros. So, to set the record straight, the two parties didn't switch names or trade platforms. What changed were their coalitions, the kinds of voters they attracted, and the cultural issues they championed. So yes, there was a switch of sorts, but it was simply a matter of those citizens with a socially and fiscally conservative mindset drifting more to the political right to whom they were aligned, and today's socialist liberal tax and spend collective remaining on the left.
Y'all get the gist of that. Now, let's go to the next video.
If you ask any voter, including lots of Democrats, what the Democratic Party is right now, you're often going to get two words that come up the most often: weak and woke. And it's that perception.
Yeah, pretty much.
Particularly the woke part, that I think is a big problem for Democrats. And I tend to think a lot of it is not necessarily all of their policies, but the way that at least a part of the Democratic Party talks about those policies. So I was totally fascinated to come across a memo by a group called Third Way, which is a centrist left think tank. The memo is called "Was It Something I Said?" And what's fascinating about it is it documents 45 words and phrases that, according to Third Way, Democrats should absolutely 100% stop using. I want to get to those, and I want to talk more broadly about how other people in the Democratic Party have sent a similar message post 2024. But let's just go through why, sort of what the theory of these 45 words is for Third Way. They write this: for a party that spends billions of dollars trying to find the perfect language to connect to voters, Democrats and their allies use an awful lot of words and phrases no ordinary person would ever dream of saying. The intent of this language is to include, broaden, empathize, accept, and embrace. The effect of this language is to sound like the extreme, divisive, elitist, and obfuscatory enforcers of wokeness. To please the few, we have alienated the many, especially on culture issues where our language sounds superior, haughty, and arrogant. They add, voters would be excused to believe that Democrats believe in these wildly out of touch social positions because of the words that come out of our mouths, words which sound like we are hiding behind unfamiliar phrases to mask extreme intent. I think that is really, really good stuff. I think that is smart and thoughtful. And yes, if you roll your eyes like, oh, who cares about words? Look, that's how politicians communicate with the rest of us. That's how we communicate with each other. The words you choose really, really, really matter. Okay, so let's get into those 45 words and phrases they say you shouldn't use in a minute. Before we do that, it's called a teaser in the business. Before we do that, I want to tell you why you should subscribe to this. You're always going to get my straight, honest take. I think there's not enough of that in the, if you, and it's that perception really, really matter. Okay, so let's aim to do it. So I hope you subscribe. Okay. I'm not going to go through the whole 45 words. I will put the Third Way memo in the comment section below so you can check it out. But let's just go. They have several broad categories of like words that they shouldn't say, Democrats shouldn't say, Democrat politicians shouldn't say. So let's just go through a few. So under the category of therapy speak, they say you shouldn't say dialoguing, othering, microaggression, progressive stack. I have no idea what that means. Centering, safe space, or holding space. In the seminar room language, don't say subverting norms, don't say critical theory, cultural appropriation, postmodernism, heuristic, or Overton window. In the organizer jargon, don't say barriers to participation, the unhoused, food insecurity.
Yeah, that shit is annoying.
Or person who immigrated. In the gender and orientation correctness, this may be the most important. Don't say birthing person or insemination.
Oh my gosh, I still remember, what's her name? Cori Bush. She lost her election too. She lost her primary election too, saying happy birthing person day. Oh my goodness. It's called a mother deck on it.
Inseminated person. Don't say pregnant people. Don't say chest feeding. Don't say cisgender. Don't say dead naming. Again, I don't know what that is. And don't say patriarchy.
Yeah, cisgender is a legitimate term.
Shifting language of racial constructs. Don't say Latinx. POC.
Dead naming. Yeah, dead naming is basically you refer to a trans person by their former name. That's what it is. It's like if you were called Caitlyn Jenner Bruce. Mm-hmm. That's what it means.
And he also said, don't use Latinx, which I always thought was stupid. I don't know a single Latino person that want to be called Latinx.
Allyship or intersectionality, explaining away crime. They say, don't say justice involved, carceration, or involuntary confinement. Is involuntary confinement just mean you're in jail? I think it does. Okay, so we can disagree with a word here or a word there, but what I would say is I actually think that is a very good and smart list, because I think the words Democrats use oftentimes get in the way of what policies they actually believe in. If you go back to the 2024 election, the most effective ad that Donald Trump ran was at the end of the campaign, where the narrator says it was about trans rights. And the narrator says, Kamala Harris is for they, them. Donald Trump is for us. Right? It's a classic example of language, the they, them, the pronoun debate being a thing that distances people from Democrats. It says they're weird. They're not like us. They're elitist. They're arrogant. They talk in ways we don't understand. Okay. So, and third way, by the way, third way has its critics. People say it's too moderate, too much of a centrist, always against the sort of more liberal end of the party, et cetera, et cetera. But I will note that they are far from alone in talking about this. Let me just go through a couple quotes. Let me start with Brian Schatz, who is a Hawaii Democratic senator, definitely not a moderate, a liberal. But he was asked in an interview with Politico at the end of 2024, sort of what went wrong in 2024. And I want to read a part of what he said. Here's Brian Schatz. He says, I think Kamala did a really good job on focusing on middle-class concerns, but I remember her saying, quote, I'm going to center the needs of the working class. And I thought to myself, I don't know anyone in the world who says center. I know people in politics who say center. I know people in academia. I know people in advocacy who say center. But centering the needs or making space for or all of that is a clear indication that you are not normal. And I put myself in that category. By definition, I am a coastal progressive. But I think this question of language goes pretty deep. Okay, that's Brian Schatz. Again, no moderate, right? And I think that's I think this is really important. But centering the needs or making space for or all of that is a clear indication that you are not normal. A liberal Democratic senator. I've got more for you. In February, Andy Beshear, who is the governor of Kentucky, 2 terms, Democrat, going to run for president. I think a really intriguing potential Democratic candidate. This is what he said in February 2025. I want to get the quote exactly right. He said, we got to talk to people like real human beings. We've sanitized different language so significantly that people don't feel like we are talking to them. Okay. A month later, March of this year, John Fetterman, Democratic senator from Pennsylvania. I would just ask Democrats, start talking like a regular person. Most people are not so sure what an oligarch is. This is he was asked a question about sort of the oligarchs that Donald Trump is playing to. Okay. I really think that there's something very important there. Frank Luntz, a legendary Republican pollster, he was one of the keys to the 1994 Republican takeover of Congress, and in large part because he focused on the language Republicans used to explain to people what they would do. If you think language is tinkering around the edges, the way that politicians talk about issues, the way they talk to voters, the way they talk to each other, if you think it's tinkering on the edges, it's not. I would suggest that the reason that since 1960 only 2 U.S. senators have been elected president, John F. Kennedy and Barack Obama, is because there's a certain way of speaking in the Senate, very formal, very procedurally based, that just doesn't work. If you stay in the Senate too long, Obama was there for 2 years, Kennedy wasn't there very long either. If you stay there too long, you wind up internalizing that language and you sound like a creature of Washington. You don't sound like a normal human being. And yes, it's harder to sound like a normal human being as a politician than you might think. So I think these 45 words and phrases that Third Way has outlined are of critical import. I think every Democrat across the ideological spectrum should check them out and should follow it. Now, the problem is there are a decent chunk of people in the Democratic base who think a lot of these words are critically important to express the situation for either their group or a broader group within the party or within the country. And they don't want to give these things away. The issue there is there are not enough of those people to get someone elected president as a Democrat. That's just a fact.
Yeah, but this is who black women want y'all to vote for.
We saw that in 2024.
Or excuse me, the 92% of the 92% want you to vote for.
It's just not a big enough group of people. So the question is, do you want to win by using other words, or do you want to stick to centering these words? And
y'all get the idea. Now, just a quick update. For those of you who've been living under a rock, everybody's been complaining about Donald Trump, send the National Guard to Washington, D.C. Well, let's hear from the Washington, D.C. mayor.
The mayor of Washington, D.C. publicly thanks Donald The mayor of Washington, D.C. publicly thanks Donald Trump and admits that his federal takeover of the city has been an overwhelming, massive success, citing reductions in crime that are so significant, you would think they were made up. You would think that this resounding success that is saving people's lives and improving their peace of mind would prompt
Shout out to Brandon Lehman, the creator.
All these Democrat governors and mayors to call up Donald Trump and ask him to come help save their city next. But alas, the official strategy recommendation coming from the Democrat Party is to avoid talking about crime, to pretend that it doesn't exist, to ignore it completely, because actually it's not an issue that Americans really care about. As always, like the video and subscribe to the channel, but let's hear from the mayor of DC praise Donald Trump for essentially fixing their crime problem.
We greatly appreciate the surge of officers that enhance what MPD has been able to do in this city. The most significant thing that we are highlighting today is the area of crime that was most troubling for us in 2023. Now, we have driven it down over the last years, but I'm going to get my glasses so I can make sure I can see it correctly. But for carjackings, the difference between this period, this 20-day period of this federal surge and last year represents a 87% reduction.
This is Mayor Bowser now.
In carjackings in Washington, D.C.
And yes, she's a black woman. How ironic.
We know that when carjackings go down, when use of gun goes down, when homicide or robbery go down, neighborhoods feel safer and are safer. So this surge has been important to us for that reason.
So the mayor of DC has been playing both sides of the fence, simultaneously thanking and praising Donald Trump because she knows crime's a significant issue in Washington, DC, and she'll gladly take all the help she can get, but also condemning Donald Trump because she is the mayor of an extremely liberal city, so she can't act too giddy and cheerful that Donald Trump is doing something helpful and positive. So that's why in the same clip, I didn't show it, but she condemns masked ICE agents causing distrust within the community. Because as a high-profile Democrat politician, she must toe the party's Trump deranged line. So that means if you're going to praise him for something, which obviously they try to avoid doing at all costs, you also have to be upset about something. But the Democrat establishment's knee-jerk reaction to resisting any kind of assistance from Donald Trump, even on the most fundamental responsibilities of government, which is public safety, is going to be an extremely losing issue for the already historically unpopular Democrats, who have instinctively been taking the losing 20 side of every issue ever since Donald Trump got inaugurated. And this newest polling shows that they are doing it yet again, as 81% of Americans say that crime in big cities is a major problem. Take a look.
Here in DC, though, overall, there's been a 19% decrease in burglary, 33% decrease in homicide, 42% decrease in assaults with a dangerous weapon, and a 44% decrease in robbery. And when it comes to handling crime, overall, nationwide, the president has a 53% approval rating. Looking more broadly at all major cities beyond DC, 81% in an AP poll are saying they think crime is a major problem in large cities. 18% say a minor problem. Just 1% say not a problem at all.
So this isn't even a partisan issue. It's just a common sense issue. You don't need polling to tell you that a majority of Americans think that crime is a...
All right, that's enough of that. Y'all get the gist of what I'm saying. 92%. We don't owe y'all nothing. Go have a seat. Be quiet. Any last words, Naaman, because I'm about to get out of here.
Just the usual. Y'all ain't shit, never have been shit, never will be shit, and God bless you for it.
Can you go on and read that for me, please? I
you put it up. From Brian McMurray, it says, the real question is, even if what Trump is doing reduces crime, is it sustainable? What happens when all the soldiers go away? Good question.
That's a good question.
Especially because they claim that DC's police force is like undermanned right now or short-handed.
We have to see. Could go either way. But that is.
And as far as ICE agents, that's another question, but it's all interconnected with this.
That is a good question. I wish I had an answer for you, but I don't. We have to see, wait and see how it plays out.
And when will he release the Epstein files?
Yeah, that'll probably never
I just had to say it. Yeah.
That'll probably never happen, and Democrats shut up because y'all didn't say shit when it was under Biden. So with that being said, I'd like to thank everybody that came through. This is AB Media 83, and I'm out. Peace. Yo, this is AB Media 83. Want to support the channel? Hit the Cash App. Also, be sure to like, share, and subscribe to the video. Also, be sure to hit that bell notification so you can be notified next time I upload a live stream or video. And always remember, keep it grinding, keep it pushing, keep it moving. This is AB Media 83, and I'm out. Peace.